Everyone here has a story of life taking an unimaginable turn, a story of how a crisis took everything, their homes, their money, their families. Tanong's story goes like this. He always had a job. He was working as a security guard when the pandemic hit. He had a wife, a home. In less than 2 years, everything he once had reduced to the contents inside this bag. He tried everything to find a job, and as months pass, the steps of this now shuttered shopfront looks to become his long-term abode.
I never thought this would happen to me, sleeping on the street, even begging for food. I used to have my own house. I would never imagine that I would end up homeless.
And there are more, many more. For over 20 years, Achara has worked to shoulder relief for the homeless. Now there are newcomers, and it's people who she would have never expected.
The number of homeless people has doubled. Many were once daily wage workers, and many who had a steady job got sacked during the lockdown. They've got nowhere to go, so more people are pushed to live on the street.
An astounding 10% of Thais were living below the poverty line when COVID-19 hit. That's those earning less than around $85 a month. And with lockdowns contributing to widespread business closures, poverty has become less discriminating. This crisis is most visceral in these lines for free food that are growing longer every single day.
Faces of taxi drivers, food vendors, farmers, construction workers. Thais that were the first to lose their jobs will likely be the last to get them back. They make up the country's large informal workforce, around 65% of all employment. They are at most risk. Left out of the social security system, they live in a grey economy where help and government assistance is hard to come by.
We have estimated that around 1.5 million to 2 million people have actually fallen into poverty just from last year. And of course, because of the pandemic, it will probably move more people into poverty this year. The recovery will probably take another 2-3 years because even if when demand comes back post the pandemic, they will not be able to recover quickly.
But for these people, it's years too long. Years of not knowing if they will find food tomorrow. Dusita Saokaew, CGTN, Bangkok, Thailand.